Hi, I'm Kandie Magargee. I have lived here my entire life. I have two children that are currently, one is going into the 9th grade, one's going into the 10th grade. So I'm married, live in Cook Springs. I work with day program children that you guys send out my way and attention children that you send out my way. With Mustard Seed, Mustard Seed Society.
Yeah.
So we do equine therapy with at-risk kids. So
Awesome.
that's it.
Well, thank you. Please describe the role of the local school board member as you understand it, and why are you the best person to fill this position?
The way I understand being on the school board is that we work with the superintendent, other committee members, and people in our community to do what's best. We enact policies. We work on curriculum. We do the things that we need to do to make sure that our kids have the best outcome. But we do have to work as a team. So I think it's a team thing. So I think that what I do with Mustard Seed, what we do, we bring at-risk kids, so it's kids from all different backgrounds. They come to the farm, we work with the horses, and we give them a goal. They're from diverse backgrounds. Maybe they just got there, so it's a lot of people that you wouldn't expect to throw together. And we teach them to think outside the box, to have a goal, to have a vision, and to make that goal come to fruition. And I think that that's what we would do on the board. I mean, I really do feel like that. We take those kids and we say, hey, you have 2 rules and I need you to make this happen. And so they have to come together as a group and figure out how to make that goal happen. And I feel like that since 2004 is when Mustard Seed was founded, and I've worked there since 2006. So it's a lot of kids, teaching them how to see the goal and get there, even if they have to go outside the box. So I think I could be really good at that. Thank you.
What are the most significant issues our school district is currently facing, and how would you propose the district address those challenges?
As a school, I believe that we have some real issues with attendance. I don't know that it's the top issue, but I think we have a lot of issues. I see a lot of the truancy kids. But if we don't, as a school board, I think set a vision for the children and for our community, I think that doesn't trickle down. So if we don't have leadership at the top that sees school as an important thing, and that the kids are instilled with, they have a future, they have a purpose, and if we don't have leaders on our school board and at our schools that instill those things in our children, then I think that it's not important to them. It's not important to go to school because I don't have a goal. I don't have a vision for my future. So if we could get that in our children, I think that we would see higher attendance. I think that we would see more participation from the community.
Okay, and finally, the Alabama State Department of Education scored Pell City Schools an 80 in 2022, an 81 in 2023, and an 83 in 2024. What are your thoughts on this trend and the trajectory of the school system overall?
I like the trend as far as it's going up. I would like a little more clarification as far as like, are we on average for the surrounding schools? If not, how do we get that up? Is that based on one part of our ACAP testing? Is it it would need a little more clarification. I like the trajectory. I think it's great. I would like to see us jump a little further as far as we're 81, 82. But slow and steady wins the race, I guess. I like the trajectory though, but I would like to see us strive for at least being in the 90. I mean, I think I'm not a teacher either, so that's hard for me to wrap my mind around, but I like the way that it's headed.
All right, do we have any follow-up questions on those 3 questions? All right, Mr. Jessup.
Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Now, you live outside the city limits.
I do.
What inspired you to try out for this?
I think
I
that
know you work with children.
I do. I see the children on the far end of the spectrum. So I see the children that.
What does that mean, far end of the spectrum?
So you have the kids that are never in trouble, and you have the kids that stay in trouble. And I see those children that stay in trouble, that don't have a goal, that don't have a vision. And God tells us if we don't have a vision, we perish. And we know, I know, and I try to instill that in every child that I see, that God has a plan and a purpose for them. And if we can just show that to our kids, I feel like that a lot of these other things would take care of themselves. So I feel like even just the little bit that I can do through mustard seed, if I can get somewhere that I could do more, I can do what I can with the kids while I have them, once a week, once every other week. But if I can get somewhere where I can do more to help these kids see their purpose and their vision, I just felt like I needed to do that.
How do kids qualify to get in your program?
Oh, they get in trouble.
So the schools?
Yes,
the schools send them
sir.
to
Yes,
you,
sir.
or how does it
Yes, so I work with St. Clair County Day Program. So it's a group out of Asheville and a group out of Pell City.
work? Okay.
And they're the kids that are in the actual day program. So they've had consequences, that truancy or suspension, and suspension didn't work, or it's basically the step before they end up going to juvenile detention. I also see the juvenile detention kids. So I see them, if they end up at juvenile detention and then they end up back at the day program, I get them for longer, but I would rather be out of business. I mean, I really would. Put me out of business.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we do have time for some additional questions.
Shoot.
Let's see, yeah. What steps would you take to establish and maintain trust in the board?
I think absolute transparency and more communication. If people see really big numbers, we're spending all this money, they really want to know details about where we're spending their money. So I think that if we are super transparent, really publicize our agendas and our briefs and our meetings, and I know they're open to the public. I'm well aware that they're open to the public, but if the community's not involved in them, it doesn't make a difference to them. And I'm not entirely sure how we get the community more involved, but I would like to do that. I know you can't make everybody happy. That's probably nearly impossible. But if we can just put the information out there, and you're horribly transparent with everything, then I think that, I mean, what do you do? They can't really say that you're not doing what you need to do. And we should always strive just to keep the kids first and foremost. All of them.
What is your perception of our school district's current working and learning environment? Do you have ideas on how to ensure and maintain a positive environment?
Yeah, I think we need I think we need leadership from top down and bottom up information. So if we instill strong leadership from our top superintendent all the way down, and then we get bottom up information. We ask the teachers, what do you need? Is this actually gonna work? We have policies that dictate how they can run a classroom or whatever, but if it doesn't work, as boots on the ground, I can make a policy for stuff I don't know anything about, but if it doesn't work, then we need that information to flow up. And strong leadership that doesn't take offense when they say something doesn't work. I think strong leadership is going to be really important. And transparency, I really do. I think it would bring a better working environment if people think that they can be honest and offer their opinions on things.
How important is long-term strategic planning for a school system? And in what key areas should Pell City Schools prioritize such a plan?
I think that without long-term strategic planning, just like I said earlier, without a vision, the people perish. So if we don't have a long-term plan, a goal that we can shoot for, how will we know how to do anything on the in-between? You just kind of roam around. It's the same thing with the kids. If they don't have a vision and if they don't have a plan, even if it's just one goal that's way off, if they don't have that, we don't have that as a district, how can we expect the kids to? If we don't have that as a board, how can we expect the children to do that? That's part of the leadership. As leaders, we have to have a plan so that they can see us doing the things that we need to do and the things that we're trying to instill in them.
All right, well, that concludes your interview, Kandie. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for spending your time with us and your dedication.